Welcome to day 5 of 14 Days with You, where we finally have a beach episode with Ren and a best friend comes over to visit. Ignore the stalker that nearly shoved us into traffic, he's totally irrelevant, and don't mind the ghosts of our mistakes. Surely that won't haunt us in this episode. Anyway, here are your disclaimers, now please enjoy yourselves. Rather than the faint chirping of birds outside my window, it's the sound of something buzzing that rudely pulls me from my slumber. Muscle memory immediately kicks in, causing me to haphazardly throw my arms above my head and fumble around in search for the noise. When my hand lands on what I think is my phone, I groggily pull it over to see what all the fuss is about. My boss's name flashes on the screen, causing me to awaken fully, and I unlock my phone to read his message. Library closed today. Police closed down the entire street. Unsure why. We'll text you if more information becomes available. Conan. What? Conan's odd texting quirks aside, what do you mean the police closed down the entire street? Did that have anything to do with what was on the news last night? You mean Tio dying? That reminds me. I still needed to call Eleanor and Tio to see if they were alright. Wait, no, it wasn't Tio who died. It was Leon. Right? It was one of the two. It was one of the two. Okay, I still needed to call Eleanor and Tio to see if they were alright. I mean, it's been almost an entire day since I've heard any kind of reply from them. I'll try Eleanor first. Not wasting any time, I find her name in my contacts list and press the call button, only for it to immediately go to voicemail. Strange. Maybe she's busy. I hope she at least received Conan's text. I'd hate for her to show up bright and early to the library, only to find out that it's closed for the day. Speaking of texts, maybe I should send one of my own, just in case. I type up a quick reply before doing the same for Tio. Maybe it's because of what happened during our double date yesterday, but I wasn't in the mood to try calling him for some reason. With that out of the way, I let out a tired sigh before haphazardly throwing my phone back onto the empty space near my bed. Wait, empty space? That reminds me. What happened to Ren? Last thing I remember from last night was us snuggled up on the couch together. At that, my cheeks immediately grow warm at the thought, and without so much as thinking, I reach for my phone once more to check out the security camera app he installed. I guess it was a good purchase after all, since I could use these cameras to check if Ren was still in the apartment. Looking for the app he installed on my phone, I open it up and navigate towards the camera in my living room. I see the telltale signs of my pillows and blankets on the couch, though what catches my interest is the fact that they were neatly stacked and put away, with no Ren in sight. Curious. I switched to a different camera to find him. He wasn't in the kitchen either, and not near my entryway. There was no point checking the camera in my bedroom since, well, I'm here already, which only leaves... As soon as I check out the camera in my hallway, it's then that I notice a familiar pair of blue jeans and soft cardigan slumped against the wall. Was that Ren sitting outside my door? What was he doing? Perhaps a bit impulsively, I sit upright in my bed and call out for him, and almost immediately, I hear the telltale signs of someone clambering around outside my bedroom. It's shortly followed by the faint sound of a throat clearing before a familiar patch of pink hair peeks through the gap in my door. Ren peers in and sheepishly looks at me, with a soft smile before he opens the door fully and invites himself inside. Good morning, Lion. Did you sleep well? Ren looks like he wants to say something, but instead chooses to climb up and stare at his feet. I almost want to reach out and ask him to look at me, but I hold back in favor of letting him take the initiative. Still, it doesn't stop me from calling out his name. Ren. Almost immediately, Ren's head whips up as he looks up at me with wide eyes. There is a crooked smile on his face this time, and almost timidly, he shuffles on his feet as if deciding whether he can come closer. You asked me to stay last night, but then you start mumbling about not having enough room or something, so I carried you to your bedroom instead, and then you asked me to join you in your bed, but then you said something about the grown-up saying it'd be okay for me to stay, and I didn't really know what to make of that, to be honest. Seriously? Was I really sleep-talking about something that happened when I was a kid? I figured you really did want me to stay, so I ended up camping in your living room, but, so don't worry, nobody came into your room. Besides me, of course. And I only just woke up, actually. Right. if you still want to, I can join you and... Actually, no, never mind. Ren looks like he'll combust on the spot if he talks any longer. And as if sharing the same thought, he clams up and awkwardly scratches his jaw. From that reaction alone, I have the slightest inclination as to what he wanted to ask me. Now that I think about it, would it be such a bad idea? Invite him to bed! Were you going to ask if you could join me in bed? Yeah. No, wait, I mean... You don't mind? Because I don't mind standing here. Honest, you can't even notice the draft, and I don't mind the sunlight darkly hitting my eyes at all. Oh, come over here, Ren. Almost like a puppy, he immediately makes a beeline towards me, but not before closing the door and waiting for me to lift the blankets up. I suppose that's his way of making sure I really wanted him in my bed. Not wasting another second, Ren joins me underneath the duvet and makes himself comfortable beside me. Hi. Hey, I feel like we've done this dance before. Maybe once or twice. Your bed is just as warm as last time. That's usually what happens when someone sleeps in it. I don't miss the way he pulls the blanket closer to his face with a warm smile. Funny, I sometimes do the same thing whenever I pull my clothes from the dryer. There's just something about the warmth and soothing scents that make me feel happy, and it makes me wonder if Ren is feeling the same. So admittedly, it was a bit weird knowing that they're my sheets and not his own, but Ren's eccentric nature had been growing on me these last few days. Somehow, this didn't really faze me anymore. Ren, however, seems to have different thoughts, as if realizing what he had just done. His eyes grow as wide as saucers before he whips his head in the opposite direction and feigns interest in the wall. There's a prominent blush spreading across his cheeks as he clears his throat and pulls the blanket down again. Before I can react, my phone goes off for what feels like the 100th time this morning, and I fish around for it once more with a groan. Not bothering to look at the screen this time, I swipe my finger across the screen to answer the call. Wait, call? Hey, morning sleepyhead. I've got something big to share with you. If it's not too much trouble, could you go to the ferry terminal? Wait. Who's in your bed? Hello? Yes, you. I can see your arm. You talk about my body pillow? It's none of your business. The guy I was telling you about, Moth Haruko, is finally real. Oh gosh, this is Ren, the guy I was telling you about. Ren doesn't seem to shy away when I tilt the camera towards his face. In fact, he only seems to lean closer to me before acknowledging Moth with a smile. Huh? Since when did you become friends with the real-life version of Haruko and you didn't even tell me? Or... Wait... I think you did. Is that the Submissive and Breedable guy you were? Okay, I think we should move on from this topic. And I'm totally going to be using that in the thumbnail or the description or title. I have no idea. Moth, this is Ren. Ren, this is Moth. Nice to meet you, Mr. Submissive and... Moth! What does that mean? Nothing, Pookie Bear. Don't you worry. Pookie Bear? Oh, please don't ask. No, ask them. I'm having way too much fun with this. Hey, tell me, does Lion make you wear Haruko's outfits too? No, not yet at least. Yet? You've talked about this? No. Well, if they asked, I'm sure I wouldn't say no, and... Alright, I think we're done here. Moth, didn't you say you had something important to tell me? Oh, right. Remember how I told you about that drawing raffle I won? You know, the other day when you were at the manga store? Yeah, but you got cut off near the end. So, I couldn't really make out what you were saying after our call disconnected. I did? Weird. Maybe I'm remembering things differently again. Damn. Well, there's no harm in telling you again. You can hear me this time, right? With a laugh, I nod my head, while Ren gives a thumbs up from behind my shoulder. Clearly, he's just as invested in our conversation. Loud and clear. Alright, drum roll please. Guess who won a free trip to New Salvis? Me, that's who. No way! I can feel Ren jolt in surprise from the sudden outburst before he settles back by my side. At that, I shoot him an apologetic smile, one that he returns with his own. Yes, Wei, I'm passing through Corlin Bay right now, and I figured if you were still in the area, maybe we could... Did you want to meet up? Knowing that this could potentially be the first time I met Moth in person, I don't bother to hide my joy and excitement. Finally, after years and years of video calls and messaging each other online, we now had the chance to do it face to face. Also, I'm so glad we finally have an answer as of, who Moth is, because initially, in the early days of the demo, I thought that Moth was Ren, which was how, Ren was able to find out so much about us. But this just makes me more curious. How does Ren know so much about us? How did he find out? I need to know this. But anyway, before my thoughts can delve any further, Moth interrupts in a tone equally excited as mine. Would that be okay? I mean, the shuttle won't pick me up until tomorrow morning, so I haven't got much planned, and I wouldn't want to intrude or anything. I know this is all so sudden, and we've never actually met in person yet, or even made any plans to. Hey, it's fine. I could show you around the bay, take you to the infamous beach from Attack on Giants. Say less. It's then that I realize that Ren is still sitting next to me, peering over my shoulder while Moth and I converse. A wave of guilt washes over me, but Moth seems to step in before I can react. Oh right, the iconic beach scene wouldn't be complete without Haruka, wouldn't it? You should bring him with you. I don't mind. My name is Ren, by the way, but if it's alright with Lion too, I wouldn't mind tagging along. Alright, you're a big fan of Attack on Giants too. You remember? I mean, yeah. I really like the anime too, so I don't mind tagging along, if it's okay with you, of course. I'd love to have you with me. Ren almost slams his head against the headboard with how quickly he straightens up, as Moth snickers at his reaction in the background. Why are you so cute? Why are you like this? Tell me! Kiss, kiss, kiss! I'll seriously hang up on you. Moth's teasing calms down the moment I send them a fall glare. Ren seems to find amusement in my words as well, given how the corners of his lips pull into the faintest of smiles. Man, who knows what you two were getting up to in bed before I called. Goodbye! Don't ever call me again! Hold on! I'll be waiting for you guys at the ferry terminal, but don't make me wait too long. Watching the ocean makes me feel nauseous. Also, I want to be the one who hang up first. Bye! Before I can get a word in, Moth flashes me a cheeky grin and ends the call. Well, I guess it's breakfast to go? With a smile, Ren eagerly nods his head. The salty aroma of the sea is the first thing I notice before a large ferry boat comes into view. Ren becomes a temporary second thought the moment I realize who might be on that ship. I hurriedly make my way back towards the dock where Moth is waiting. Lion! Moth! Lion! Moth! Almost immediately, Moth runs towards me with outstretched arms before pulling me into a warm hug. Their excitement is almost palpable as they laugh in my ear and give me the tightest squeeze I've ever experienced. They nearly swept me off my feet too, had it not been for the potential safety hazard of swinging someone around on a slippery dock. Man, I couldn't wait to get off that thing. Never again am I going to ride a ferry. Ever, ever. But oh my god, you're actually here! You're real! And you're much taller than I expected too. And whoa, I love your outfit. Yeah, must be the shoes. I have to get myself a similar pair of... Holy shit, is that... You're joking. You're actually joking. Is this real? No way the real-life Haruko is standing before my eyes right now. Following Moth's gaze, I notice Ren sheepishly walk up to the both of us and stand by my side. He doesn't seem to greet Moth in any way, but just as I turn around to fully face him, Ren removes a hand from his pocket and gives a shy wave. I guess I've gotten so used to Ren being more forward around me that I almost forgot about his reserved side. It's nice to meet you, again. And I get that a lot. It must be my shoes as well. Yeah, the shoes. Moth, you haven't even looked down yet. Do I need to? Everything I need is right here in front of me. Oh shit, did I say that out loud? Whatever, doesn't matter. You can't blame me when I've got the real-life Haruko standing right in front of me right now. Where'd you get your hair done? Can you save me from a giant? Do you need a spouse? God, I've seen what you've done for others. Moth! I've never seen them so animated before. It was almost hard to believe that this was the same moth who'd always shy away from social situations. And we immediately forget about the fact that someone died yesterday. Oh god, but then again, like, yeah, it's real. It's real. Sorry, I'll try to tone it down. Keyword being try here. But for real though, thanks for coming out and meeting me like this. I know it's really last minute. Not at all. I had nothing planned for today anyway, and I'm glad Ren was willing to tag along. Of course. I like making you happy. He really is Haruko. Oh, it's Ren, and I guess, well, apart from the hair, I suppose it's just a major coincidence that Haruko and I happen to act the same. It's one of the reasons why he's my favorite character, actually. It's hard to miss the way Ren looks at me when he mentions Haruko as his favorite, but it happens all too quickly that I fear it must be a trick of my imagination. Yeah? I like him because he's hot. Oh god, I freaking love Moth. Please don't die, please. Like, I won't be able to continue the series if you do. Plus, he whimpers and pouts in the most cutest way whenever he's upset. I almost laugh at the way Ren's eyes widen at Moth's words. Also, have you seen him in the latest episode? I swear, the animators knew what they were doing when they ripped his uniform. Wait, I haven't seen it yet. Don't spoil it. Oh, shit. Sorry, Elle. My bad. But hey, if you've got the time, why don't we all watch it together later? Sounds like fun. Don't you think, Angel? I wasn't expecting Ren to join in, much less witness Moth be so social with someone. But then again, much like me, Moth has been obsessed with Attack on Giants since it first came out, so it made sense for them to be able to gush about it without any restraint. Plus, it was nice to see Moth having fun, so who was I to put a stop to it? Speaking of, did I tell you the reason I'm here in the first place? Well, you know about that one anime convention being held in New Salvas? They were hosting this AOG art contest online, so I naturally joined, and I won! So now I get to go to the convention for free, and I get to have a one-on-one time with all the voice actors. I mean, come on! I finally get the chance to talk to the voice actor for Haruko? This is like a dream come true. I wonder if I can get him to say he wants to marry me. Wait, why didn't I know about this? Yeah, now that you mention it, it is kind of strange how you never said anything to me. You must be really busy with work, huh? Work? I guess you could say that. However, with everything that's been happening recently, not entirely sure I can blame my distraction on my job. And I love Attack on Giants. It's just weird how I never got any recommendations or ads for the convention online. Huh. So much for personalized feeds. Well, don't you worry about it too much. I'll be sure to buy you all the Haruko charms I can find. I mean, I still owe you, don't I? Besides, the convention isn't until tomorrow, and we've still got the entire day to kill. Didn't you once say you wanted to show me some of the sights here? Ah, you remembered. Well, since we're here already, why don't we start with the main beach? Oh, but you don't really like the water, do you? Maybe we can just... They don't? Yeah, so it's not really the water that gets me, it's what lurks beyond. Unknown creatures, ships and planes that go missing for no reason, endless depths that have yet to be explored. Yeah, no, not for me. Oh, I know someone who's definitely going to be mentioning this. I know someone who can relate to this very well. Oh, and I almost drowned as a kid. Wait, what? Unfortunately for you, Elle, you'll need to unlock my level 80 friendship to hear that one. Now, what did you say about a beach? After what happens in the latest episode, I hope I get to see Haruko's glorious butt imprint in the sand? Please don't look at me when you say that. But I want to look at you when they say that. I wanna! The walk along the promenade is awfully quiet, and it has me wondering where the usual crowd of people are. Usually I'd see Jay and Tio hanging around near the food kiosk, but today no one seemed to be around. Did something happen? And why was nobody answering their phones? It surely have been over a few hours by now, and Eleanor has never been one to screen a text for that long. Tio too, for that matter. Even if he often finds enjoyment in ghosting others. Ghosting? Ghosting. It sure is quiet today. At least we won't have to worry about fighting someone over a spot to put down our stuff. That's true. But we can't go in the ocean wearing these outfits. Here, why don't I buy some swimsuits for us? There's a beach apparel stand over there. Oh, you don't have to. Besides, I was mostly joking. You already know Moth doesn't like the— Oh, it's fine. I won't be long. Before I can respond, Ren is already bounding towards the nearby stall with a slight spring in his step. Well then. It's fine, Al. You two can swim if you want. I don't mind sitting under a palm tree or two, catch up on some webcomics. You sure? Yeah, besides, now might be a good time to try and conquer my fears. Probably. You know, I already watched this anime where the main protagonist gets isekai'd to an underwater city. When Ren returns, he's got a bunch of bathing suits, towels, and a beach bag bundled up in his arms. He wastes no time in handing me a swimsuit, and before I can tell what's happening, he's already ushering me towards the changing stall and promising to watch the door from outside. A small part of my brain picks up on the fact that the swimsuit is in my exact size, but I put it on the back burner for now so I can focus on changing out of my regular clothes. When I look at all the items Ren got me, I notice that shows part of my skin, doesn't show any of my skin. Typically I don't like outfits that show off much of my skin. Like, I dress pretty conservatively, but like lately I have been like wearing more shorts to try to like get more comfortable with my own body. So it shows parts of my skin. The design on the front somewhat resembles my comfy aesthetic, and it makes me wonder if that was the reason why Ren intentionally picked it out for me. However, another part of me wonders if he only picked this swimsuit because it shows off some of my legs. I know what you are, Ren! You're down bad. I can still hear Moth moving about in the stall next to me, alongside the rustling of fabric and a few expletives, so I take my time changing, but doesn't take long before I'm fully dressed and ready to throw myself into the ocean. As if to kill time and give everyone else a few more minutes to get dressed, I stuff my regular clothes into my bag extra slowly and swing open the door, only to find Ren still waiting for me on the other side. Go change! Hold on, that was quick. Guess it's my turn now, huh? Yes! Yes, it is! We all want to see you in Speedos, Ren! You know this! It's then that I noticed that there were only 2 stalls available, and that Ren really was taking his guarding job seriously. Oh. I'm actually not quite done yet. Did you want to share my stall? Almost immediately, Ren's cheeks turn a bright shade of red as he practically chokes on his own spit. Join you? Are you sure? I can wait outside until you're done. I don't mind. Really? Besides, that stall probably won't fit the both of us. I'd be, Oh, for Haruko's sake, just use their stall! Mob's words catches both off guard before Ren turns his gaze back towards me and pairs it with a sheepish smile. Figuring that his timidness was holding him back from taking the initiative, I move to the side and silently beckon him closer with a wave of my hand. And almost shyly, Ren stumbles forward and tries his best to squeeze inside the stall without disrupting me, despite his large frame, as if to offer him some sort of comfort and breathing room. I give Ren a reassuring smile and turn my back. Don't worry, I won't look. I wouldn't mind if you did. What was that? I said I won't look either, so don't mind me. I can still hear you two, you know. Hi, Moth! Yeah, whatever. You guys better hurry up. I'm almost done here. Oh, Moth is gonna hear a lot. God damn it! The walk to the beach is nothing short of eventful, and soon enough we find ourselves at the entrance to the infamous Giant's Cove. Moth can barely contain their excitement as they take in the familiar scenery before them, and I don't miss the way they start to babble about the striking similarities between the beach scene from AOG and the current scene laid out before them. I've already visited this cove enough times for the excitement to wear off, but watching Moth have the time of their life right now only seems to hype me up even more. When I look back at Ren to see whether he was feeling the same, I find that he's already staring straight at me with a soft look in his eyes. He reaches a hand out to me, but just as he's about to say something, Moth cuts him off. They actually built... Why is he even more covered up now? I guess it's to hide, like, some of his, like, whatever's going on under his clothes. I know that Ren, for some reason, has been, like, hiding, like, what's underneath his shirt for the longest time. Like, yeah, we could see his badoink-a-doink, but, like, beyond that, we don't get to see much. Like, come on! They actually built a monument for Attack of Giants here? That is so cool. Oh, we should take a photo to camera. We should take a photo We should take a photo to commemorate. Here. In a blur, Moth excitedly shoves their phone into Ren's hands and tugs me towards the stone statue made in Haruko's likeness. One of their arms hooks around my shoulder to pull me closer to their side, and I can feel their smile grow the moment they press their cheek next to mine. Ren, however, seems to have a bout of confusion as he takes in the scene in front of him, before he snaps out of his daze and lifts Moth's phone to take a photo. The camera flashes every time he takes a photo, but after the 7th flash, Moth decides that's enough and signals for the phone back. Ooh, let's see the results. When I peer over Moth's shoulder, I see that the photos Ren took were actually kind of bad. Although the statue and I were perfectly in the frame, Moth seemed to be cut off entirely, but only the arm around my shoulder making the shot. Huh? Hey, what about me? You're right there, see? My arm, you mean? Yeah, that doesn't count. Here, take another one. This time, Moth curls their arms around my waist and leans closer to my side. I don't miss the way Ren's eyes widen, nor the way he takes a second too long to take the photo, but I chalk it up to him being surprised at Moth's sudden clinginess. Was he jealous because we didn't have any pictures like these of our own? Before I can think about it any further, Ren's voice grabs my attention. There. Better? When Ren hands the photo back to Moth, they hunch over the screen and look over everything with a critical eye. It's almost comical watching them zoom in and out to scrutinize every little detail, but I figured it'd be best to leave them to their own devices once I see them open up a photo editing app. No doubt to cover our faces with AOG stickers before they share it in their family group chat to boast. Turning to my side, I look at Ren with a teasing expression. What about you, Buttercup? Huh? Don't you want a photo to commemorate this moment as well? Without waiting for a response, I playfully pull Ren's phone from his pocket and aim it at my pink-haired companion. Ren immediately covers part of his face with his hand, but quickly realizes that he isn't wearing his thick cardigan, so the sleeves of his rash guard hardly do much to hide his growing embarrassment. His growing what? His growing what? He almost seems camera shy with the way he turns away from me with a soft blush on his cheeks, though he doesn't complain when I start taking a few pictures of my own. Also, like, God, he is ripped under those clothes, like goddamn, his chest! In fact, Ren appears to revel in all the attention I'm giving him with the way he indulges in my requests with a warm smile. Feeling a sudden surge of confidence, I reach out my hand expectantly and gesture for Ren to place his cheek against it. He wastes no time in leaning down, pressing his face against my hand and nuzzling into my touch. Ren almost looks like a cute puppy like this, and I find myself taking a few more pictures to savor the tender moment. Though admittedly, the eye contact he's giving the camera feels a bit intimate, but I brush it aside for the sake of my rapid heartbeat. If I send these to you, will you make it your lock screen? Ren, can you come here for a second? I need you to compare hairstyles with the statue. My brother thinks Haruko's hair isn't fluffy enough, but... I stifle my laughter at Ren's confused look as Moth continues to rant while they tug him towards the Haruko statue. I look away the moment they ask him to start posing, and it's then that I realize I still have his phone in my hands. But just as I move to return it to its rightful owner, the screen immediately lights up and starts to vibrate. Perhaps it's muscle memory kicking in from all the times my own phone will go off, but I find myself unconsciously lifting it up to look at the screen before realizing what I had just done. I'm guessing you're the reason it's placated again? Also, gross, dude. Don't tell me you went back and fished out his... Oh shit, what exactly are you doing right now, Lion? I shouldn't be reading through someone else's private notifications like this. And yet, I couldn't help but feel... I feel weirded out. Ask Ren to leave us alone. I feel fine. Hang out with Ren a little longer. What? Huh? Wait, what? Okay, I genuinely don't know how to feel about these choices because genuinely, like, I want to find out more about the text. But why would I need to ask Ren to leave us alone for that? Like, I could just, like, look through it right now. And there's nothing else that I could possibly do. Like, I don't want to actually, like, lose any more affection points of Ren. That's the thing. And I know that I'll probably get Muff killed if I don't choose this. Oh, fine. What was I thinking? Reading private messages like this? Ren didn't deserve to have his privacy disregarded like this. With a resolute nod, I make my way towards the group and call for Ren's attention. Angel, sorry, did you want to take more photos as well? Here, I'll move out of the way. Actually, I was thinking about heading to the manga store to check out some of the new merch. Do you want to join us? Oh, and here's your phone. Sounds like a good idea. I'll go get our bags while you finish taking your photos. Let me know when you're ready to go. Almost like a puppy, Ren bounces off towards our belongings and starts to pack them up with a blissful smile on his face. Man, he really is just like Haruko. Gah, I want to turn him into a sticky hand just so I can repeatedly throw him against the wall over and over again. Your level of cuteness aggression genuinely terrifies me sometimes. The moment we reach the main street, I immediately pick up the lack of, well, noise. Aside from the lone cop car, there was hardly any other cars or people on the street, and most of the stores appeared to be closed. Weird? Was today a public holiday? I doubt it, considering I was initially supposed to work today. But before I can dwell on it any longer, I suddenly find myself being thrust forward and onto the road by an unknown force, before Ren reaches out a hand to pull me back. Once the initial shock wears off and I gather my bearings, I whip my head around to figure out what or who tried to push me. But it proves difficult with Ren's large frame blocking my view, so I remove his hand from my shoulder and sidestep around him. What the hell? Who? When I do, I come face to face with a dark, hooded figure who doesn't even bother to acknowledge our existence. What the? This a-hole really tried to push me onto oncoming traffic and walked off as if nothing had happened? Wait. Was this the person Violet was talking about? The tall build, the hooded jacket. The only thing that's missing is the crazy amount of belts on their leg. So this is my stalker. I have half a mind to just pull down their mask and hoodie to expose their identity, but I didn't want to cause a scene or make matters worse. Ren, however, seems to have other plans. Before I can react, he surges towards the hooded stranger with a nasty scowl on his face. The hell's your problem? Not even going to apologize? When no response comes, Ren reaches for their shoulder to get their attention. All it does is cause them to turn around slightly, before they shrug it up and break into a Why did anyone throw hands? Why not? I would have immediately thrown hands. Everything happens in a blur, and just as the smudge of black fades from my view, Ren's pink hair replaces it as he gently grips my arm to ground me. Are you alright? Did they hurt you? Concern and worry couldn't even begin to describe the range of emotions present on his face. Ren peers even closer when I don't respond to his questioning, and in that moment, I find myself too stunned to speak. All of my attention goes towards the warmth radiating from his sudden closeness and the soft blue eyes peering into mine with so much worry. I can feel Ren's fingers pressed deeper into my shoulders, not enough to hurt me, but present enough to anchor me, as he pulls me even closer towards his chest. I feel safe being surrounded by his concerned presence, and it was nice to know that he cared so much for my well-being, so much so that he'd willingly pick a fight with some stranger for a simple apology. I mean, I guess, yeah, he almost picked a fight, almost. But I feel like, okay, because here's the thing, I know what Ren looks like when he's actually mad. I know what Ren looks like when he's actually miffed about something, okay? That was a little too convenient. I have a feeling they're in cahoots. But the moment only lasts for so long before I realize that he's trying to get me to respond. Angel, what's wrong? You okay, Al? Do you know them or something? No, I'm fine. And they scared me is all. This has never happened to me before. You're sure you're fine? You're still shaking. Want to sit down? Should I Should I call the cops or something? I could barely hear Moth's words over the rapid sounds of my heart beating and the ringing in my ears. I wasn't able to see that person's face because of their mask, but their scent. I could recognize that scent anywhere. It was something unmistakably earthy and muddy, and it felt oddly familiar in some way. Before I can let my thoughts travel any further, I noticed my friends are staring at me with concerned looks, not wanting them to worry. I masked my fear with a determined glint in my eye, and tried to ease the mood. Maybe we should head home instead. Sure, but are you sure you're alright? You seem a bit dazed, Lion. Yeah, I'm fine. We should probably get off the street, though. I suppose peak hour is starting soon. That might explain why they were in such a rush. Still, it wouldn't hurt to apologize for bumping into someone. Well, whatever. You say you wanted to head home? They did, so where did you want to go, Angel? If you'd like, we can go to my apartment. It's not far from here. Ah, but you already knew that, don't you? Or we can go back to your place if you'd prefer. Ren's place. Somehow I felt more comfortable going back to Ren's apartment instead of my own. I don't want to risk Moth's safety either, so I tried my best to convince myself that this really is a good idea after all. With a resolute nod of my head, I turned to Ren with a meek smile. Would it be alright if we go to your apartment? Yes, of course. It's totally fine. It's not far from here anyway. Mom still gets a bit peeved by the person who bumped into me, but they still nod their head at my question. Alright then, let's go. Soon we all arrive at Ren's apartment. The elevator ride to his floor is just as slow and tacky as last time, yet Moth doesn't seem to mind it in the slightest. In fact, they seem to be wholly engrossed with their surroundings, much like I had been the very first time I visited Ren's place. Stepping inside, I noticed that my slippers from last time were waiting by the door, and the sight alone sends a wave of appreciation through my body. Did Ren leave them out for me? As cheesy as it sounds, it almost feels like coming home to my own apartment. But it's Moth's awestruck voice that pulls me back to the present, and I watch in silence as they take in the scene before them. Funny, was this how I looked when I first arrived here? Oh my god. What kind of entryway is this, and is that marble flooring? Dude, you can afford this much marble? I didn't buy it. It came with the apartment. And so did the rest of the furniture, or most of it. That's a whole lot of marble. I literally said the same thing. Right? Look at all this. It's just marble? Jeez, I guess I skipped the episode where Haruko became a millionaire. Like I said, I'm not Haruko, I'm Ren. Are those Gucci slippers? Since when could you afford those? These? They belong to Ren. He let me borrow them the first time I came here. Oh, are there any spare slippers for Moth too? I'll have a look. You have more than one pair? Shit, sorry. I probably shouldn't be so loud. Huh. You're fine. Ren doesn't have any neighbors, or at least he didn't until recently, I think. Sure sounds like you're really used to living here, huh? So, when are you moving in? Dad! No, now that I think about it, the idea is rather tempting. Ren already seems fine with the idea of being my boyfriend. Surely he'd enjoy being my roommate too. But before I can get carried away with these fantasies, I remind myself why I'm purposefully trying to distance myself from Ren in the first place. I didn't want to get him involved with my personal problems, nor did I want to give my stalker any more ammunition to use against me. In fact, I mean, look at all this space. If you won't live here, I will. How many rooms are there? How many kitchens does this place have? Is there a cinema room? Oh, what about... Here, try and see if these fit you. Ren's voice cuts off Moth as he throws a pair of shoes onto the ground. Oh, they're a little tight around the toes, but comfy. That's too bad. I don't have any other sizes. You know, they look like they might fit me better, actually. Here, want to swap? Moth's slippers definitely appear smaller than the pair I'm currently wearing, but they didn't look too uncomfortable. That much is evident when we swap, and Moth seems to be feeling all the more better in a larger pair of slippers, if their wide, appreciative smile has anything to go by. You don't mind? Not at all. Actually, maybe I do have another pair that'll fit you better. Here, I'll go and check again. It's cool, Ren. Don't worry about it. As we make our way into the living room, Moth suggests ordering takeout so we can eat while catch up on the recent episodes of Attack on Giant. It's almost comedic watching Ren and Moth huddle over the phone to look over the menu, and I nearly end up letting a laugh slip through when they start bickering over the meal deals not actually being that good of a deal. Leaving the two of them to their own devices, I plop onto the couch with a sigh and absent-mindedly clutch onto one of the throw pillows. Odd. I swear if the exact same cushions on my couch back at home. Did Ren and I always have the same taste in decor? And since when did Ren start decorating his apartment? Last time I checked, everything in here came pre-furnished, tacky decor and all. Before I can get too deep in my thoughts, Moth and Ren joined me on the couch once more to fill me in on what they ordered, and what they got for me as well. Moth seems all too happy to talk about the fried rice dish they ordered, before rambling on about how most fast food joints never usually have it in stock, all while Ren gets his television set up for us. The next thing I know, we're almost 2 episodes deep until our food arrives. It takes another 3 more before we're all finished with our meals, and soon enough, Moth is relaxing on the floor with a bunch of pillows surrounding them, while Ren and I remain on the couch. Here we go! It's finally beach episode time! You guys have to see the outfit the animators put him in. It wasn't in the manga, but I still think it's cool. Wait, we should turn the lights off for maximum effect. Moth's voice fills the silence as they get up, flick off the light switch, and start to pump themselves up for the opening song. Yet my mind can't help but wander towards today's events. I still couldn't shake off the encounter from earlier, or the fact that I now had solid proof of a stalker who wouldn't leave me alone. Still, going to Ren's place was definitely a smart idea. There's an entire team of security personnel down in the reception, and you need a specific key card to make it past the first floor. Now knowing this, I wouldn't have to worry about Moth's safety as much, and for some reason, well, I don't know why, but I always seem to feel a lot better whenever Ren is around. Speaking of, I cast a sneaky glance in Ren's direction, only to find him sprawled out on the couch. He'd offered to share his blanket earlier, after I offered mine to Moth, and I couldn't help but notice how much of it he'd given to me. In fact, only half his leg was covered, and with winter right around the corner, I was worried he was too shy to admit he was feeling cold. Without thinking, I lean over and gently drape a portion of the blanket across Ren's lap in an attempt to offer him some warmth. But as I do, my hand inadvertently brushes against the back of his, and it's then that I notice just how cold his skin feels. A surge of concern washes over me, and I have half a mind to reach out to grasp his hand in my own, but Ren's immediate reaction keeps me rooted in place. Almost unashamedly, his gaze shifts towards me before he sends me a curious look, and when he finally speaks, his voice is barely above a whisper, almost getting drowned out by the noise coming from the television. It's okay, Angel. You can have it. I'm not the one with frozen hands. What kind of person would I be if I let my boyfriend's hands go cold? Not giving Ren any time to respond, I reach out and gently cup his freezing hands in my own. But your hands are cold too. Ren, shush! We both glance in Moth's direction for any signs of disruptions, but they seem far too engrossed with whatever is happening on the television to fully turn around. You're cold. I should have noticed it earlier. Here, I'll go turn up the heater. No, it's okay. Here, why don't we... snuggle up together. Eleanor once told me it's more efficient to stay warm by sharing body heat. Why don't we sit a bit closer? Closer? Yeah, sure. Okay. Seriously, Ren, quiet. Without missing a beat, I throw the blanket over our shoulders and scoot closer to Ren until my arms and thighs are brushed up against his. But Ren takes it a step further by pulling my legs over his lap and resting one of his hands over my knee to prevent them from falling. And just as I dare to take a glance in his direction, Moth chooses now of all times to turn around to talk to us. Finally, we get to see how to go. I doubt they realize what Ren and I were currently doing in the dark. In fact, Moth seems all too engrossed with the TV as Haruko's grand entrance flashes on the screen, yet I couldn't help but let my mind wander towards Ren. Being this close to him, I can practically feel the warmth radiate from his body, yet all I can focus on is the way his thumb rubs small circles on my knee, while his other hand plays with the loose material of my bottoms. Almost daringly, I sneak a glance in his direction, only to find him staring at me with a gentle expression in return. I thought you wanted to watch the beach episode. I am! TV's that way. With a teasing smile, Ren points towards the television, though the look in his eyes practically challenges me to look away. Okay, here we go. We're going to the beach now. There, on the television in all its glory, it is the iconic Giant's Grove we visited earlier today, and Moth can barely contain their excitement. Oh my god, look! There's that massive rock arch we saw. Damn, they really did take a whole lot of inspiration from Corlin Bay. They're not shy with the way they languidly flop over on the carpet and pull one of the cushions to their chest to get more comfortable. But the moment is fleeting, as Haruko soon appears on the screen in a magical pink flurry. Almost instantly, Moth rolls onto their stomach instead, kicking their legs and practically melting over the side of Haruko in a swimsuit. His muscles! Look! I yearn to lick the crevices of his... Okay... Suppressing a laugh, I glance at Ren, who seems to be sporting a worried, yet just as flushed look on his features. And here I thought your fondness for Haruko was unmatched. Those are some big words coming from someone who's rocking the same hairstyle as him. What? What does that mean? Hey, what are you two whispering about over there? Yes. We're just wondering if Haruko's outfit is going to... The sudden urge to tease Ren washes over me once more, and before I can stop myself, I trail my hand up his leg, getting increasingly close to the front of his jeans with every inch, and you'll only get to see this on Patreon. When I come to, the first thing I notice is the comforting weight of the blanket still covering me on the couch, alongside Ren's familiar presence by my side. The soft glow emitting from the TV cast a soft light in the otherwise darkened room, and it's then that I realize that the second episode of AOG is currently playing on the screen. Damn it, did I really doze off long enough for the series to loop? Weren't there at least 40 episodes? With a soft groan, I adjust myself into a more comfortable position to survey the rest of my surroundings, only to realize that my movement must have stirred Ren awake as well. Glancing behind me, I immediately notice his sleepy expression and tidy appearance, which means he must have taken the time to fix both of our clothes at some point during my slumber. An appreciative smile pulls at my features, one that Ren happily returns with his own, before the sound of a tired, drawn-out yawn breaks the silence and ruins a tender moment. Turning back around is then that I notice Moth slowly beginning to drift off from their spot on the floor. If the drool coming from the corner of their mouth was any indication, it must be bedtime for all of us. But after everything we'd just done, the last thing I wanted to do was leave the warmth of Ren's body, but the thought of a comfy bed with plenty of legroom was calling my name. I barely have any time to weigh my options, however, as Ren immediately picks up on my drowsy demeanor and offers to show us to our room so that we can rest. Eventually, he leaves Moth and me to settle in for the night, claiming he has one last matter to take care of. As I step into my own room, I notice that it's just as gaudy and extravagant as the rest of the apartment, furnished with the most ornate decor and bold color choices I've ever seen. But just when I think it couldn't get any worse, I survey the rest of the room and come face to face with the most unfortunate revelation. It didn't come with its own bathroom. God damn it. With a grumble, I step back into the dark hallway, borrowed toothbrush and clothes in hand, and prepare myself for the inevitability of getting lost in Ren's endless maze of an apartment. All of this for a single bathroom! I have no doubt that this place has at least 4 restrooms, but the chances of me finding even one seems laughable. Stumbling around yet another corner, I come across Moth, hunched in front of a door with a frown on their face. Moth? Whoa! Sorry, were you looking for the restroom too? Nah, my room has a private ensuite. I'm actually looking for something else. Private what? Where was mine? I'm looking for Ren's cosplay room. His... Wait, hold on a sec. Are you snooping? Moth! Shh! And I'm not snooping. I'm just trying to find out where he keeps all his Attack on Giants merch. I'm sure a little peek won't hurt. I watch as Moth reaches for the door once more, only to be met with an audible click and a stiff handle. Oh, damn. Locked. Well, what did you expect? Maybe he has a spare key somewhere? You're not seriously still thinking of going through his stuff? Never mind that, this place doesn't use physical keys anyway. You have to use keycard to access everything. Ren explained it to me a while ago. So, does that mean you have one? I am not going to snoop through his stuff. You won't? But what if I do? Moth! Lion! Come on! What if he's one of the lucky people who got Haruko's limited edition sword? You're seriously not interested? Even the slightest bit? Okay, so maybe I was just a tiny, little, minuscule bit curious, but that spark of interest didn't justify breaking into a locked room without the other person's knowledge. And while it technically would be breaking in if I used a key card to unlock the door, Ren still trusted me enough to give me one. Not Moth, me. Besides, I already did my own snooping yesterday, and look where that got me. Apparently dead. Look, instead of breaking in, why don't you go and ask Ren first? I'm sure he wouldn't mind giving you the full tour of his collection, if he even has one. You've got a point. Man, why didn't I think of that? Think about what? All of a sudden, Ren appears from behind one of the dark hallways and scares the living shit out of us. Whoa, hey, Pookie Wookie. We were just... Moth wanted to look at your Haruko collection. What? Hey! In that room? Why would I... Oh... well, this is a bit embarrassing, but that room isn't... It's not finished yet. It's a mess. A mess? What was he talking about? Once it's more presentable, I'll be sure to invite you back and give you the full tour. Right. Sorry. There's nothing to worry about. Ugh, he truly is the real-life embodiment of Haruko, and wait, didn't they have a line similar to that in the manga? Moth must have been on the same wavelength as me, since their mood immediately shifts from embarrassment to excitement, before they shoot me a look as if to say, you heard that too, right? But before I can respond, Ren cuts me off with a timid laugh. Anyway, was there anything else you needed? Elle was looking for the bathroom earlier. They needed a mirror to check out all those fresh hickeys on their neck. I wonder how those got there. Hey! Oh, but calling me out for wanting to see his Haruko collection was fine, huh? The bathroom? Oh, of course. It's just down the hall near the kitchen. Here, I can show you. Follow me. Leaving Moth to their own devices, I quickly catch up to Ren and follow him down the hallway. Huh. Soon enough, the events of the day slowly catches up and leaves me feeling tired and drained. Man, today had been a lot, huh? But just as I settle into bed, I hear a faint knock coming from the door. Was it Ren? I let out a faint "come in" and wait for my visitor to emerge. To my surprise, it's Moth that appears from behind the door with a sheepish smile on their face. Hey, didn't wake you, did I? Sorry, I just find it hard to fall asleep when everything's quiet. I'm so used to my younger siblings bickering in the room next door or hearing someone play video games downstairs. Do you mind if I... can I chill with you for a while? I promise, I'll sleep in my own bed later. Without missing a beat, I lift the covers and pat the spot next to me. With a relieved smile, Moth crawls into the bed and lets out a faint hum once they sink into the mattress. They seem content lying on their back, so I do the same and look up at the ceiling. The silence that follows is momentary, seeing as Moth soon speaks once more, only this time their voice is much softer than before. Thanks for today, Elle. No one's really gone out of their way to make me feel so... included? Seen? I'm not really sure what word I'm looking for, but I really appreciate everything you've done. I mean, you of all people know that I don't have many friends. I have trouble talking to people, but I'm glad I could get along with you and Ren this easily. Oh yeah, you didn't seem to have any trouble talking with Ren. Probably because his personality reminds me so much of Haruko. Though I didn't think the whole Light Academia fashion would suit him, but weirdly enough, it kinda does. Honestly, it's like Ren walked straight out of my dreams or something. I mean, he's practically a walking amalgamation of all my recent interests. Must be all the manifesting you've been doing in our DMs. Oh, please. Manifesting? I think you're the one who's doing that. I mean, you always asked for Haruko to be real, and look what happened. True, but I distinctly recall asking for him to be my husband as well. I guess whoever was listening missed that part. Manifest harder! Moth can't seem to contain their laughter at my words, and they end up clamping a hand over their mouth to silence their sounds, lest they wake up Ren. The corners of their eyes crinkle as they turn to look at me with a smile, and I find myself mirroring their expression. Good night, Lion. Thanks for today. Night, Moth. At that, they roll onto their back once more and pull the covers up to their chin. The silence returns once more, and I'm left to stew in my own thoughts. Today had honestly been a lot of fun. Plus, it was nice to know that Moth enjoyed themselves this much. I have no doubt that I'd be sad once they leave for the city tomorrow, but I didn't want to ruin this moment with my sappy feelings. With one last smile, I turn on my side and slowly drift off to sleep. And that's the end of day 5. Okay, I know I don't typically show different choices in 14 days with you, but I want to specifically show you what happens if we ask Ren to leave us alone. I couldn't shake off the feeling that something just wasn't right. While the text ultimately seems harmless, and granted, I had barely any context to go off of, my instincts were telling me not to fall for it. With a resolute nod, I make my way towards the group and try to grab Ren's attention. Angel, sorry, did you want to take more photos as well? Here, I'll move out of the way. Actually, I was thinking of taking Moth back to the pier so I can finish up the rest of the tour. I wanted to return your phone first. Oh, right. Thanks. Here, let me get my towel and we can all go back to the... So I was thinking, maybe it could just be me and Moth? You and Moth? Don't you want me to come along? Is there something wrong? Did I do something wrong? No, nothing is wrong. I just didn't realize that having the real-life Haruko tagging along would be a bit too overwhelming for them. Once things settle down, maybe we can all meet up again? That was a bald-faced lie, but I hope Ren won't see through it. You really don't want me. I see. Yeah, sure. Okay. I guess I'll see you later then. You have my number anyways, so I'll only be a text away. If only he knew. The moment we reach the main street, I immediately pick up on the lack of, noise. Aside from a lone cop car, there were hardly any other cars or people on the street, and most of the stores appeared to be closed. Weird. Was today a public holiday? I doubt it, considering I was initially supposed to work today. But before I can dwell on it any longer, I suddenly find myself being thrust forward and onto the road by an unknown force before Moth reaches out a hand to pull me back. Ah! Hi, Hoodie. I turn around to confront the offender, but I'm not able to get a good look at their face because of the mask and hoodie they're wearing. Despite that, they seem to exude something sinister with the way their shoulders hunch forward as their hands remain in their pocket. What if they were hiding a knife in there? Any semblance of a retort dies on my tongue as I take a step back towards Moth. I can feel them reach for my arm, and with one last glance, I turn away and hurriedly pace down the street. The hell was that? Lion? Hey, are you okay? The hell was their problem? I mean, come on. How hard is it to look where you're going? That dude's a grade A-hole. No, they're the S tier of a-holes. Moth's words of reassurance do little to comfort me, but I appreciate hearing them nonetheless. I just couldn't seem to shake off the eerie feeling or calm my rapid heartbeat after that sudden encounter. What if that was my stalker? The person who was... Maybe we should head back to your place? I guess peak hour is starting soon since everyone seems to be in such a hurry. Yeah, good idea. Whether or not Moth picks up on my hesitancy is lost on me. I don't want to worry them, let alone ruin what's supposed to be a fun day for them, so I try my best to mask my fears for their sake. Also, I won't lie, the thought of being within the safety of my own home is a genuinely comforting idea. Having Moth close by somehow seems to boost my confidence as well, and from that thought alone, I give a resolute nod and lead them towards my apartment. Admittedly, even after we make it back to my apartment, I still couldn't shake off the sense of fear still lingering inside me. I felt terrible for dismissing Moth's concern for the nth time tonight, and even more so when I shut down their request to watch the latest Attack on Giant episode together. I honestly couldn't get myself in the mood to do so, and whether or not Moth picked up on it, they chose not to say anything. Instead, They offered to head straight to bed so that they could wake up early and spend the morning with me before they had to leave. It made me smile to know that Moth still wanted to spend time more with me, so with a promise to do so, I helped prepare my couch for them to sleep on and make my way towards my bedroom. Perhaps out of habit, or was it fear, I triple-checked to make sure that my window is locked tight and that my bedroom door is shut completely. I'd already quadruple-checked that the front door was locked before I turned in for the night, so with a satisfied hum, I crawl into bed and try to get comfortable. So, sleep proves to be difficult given recent events, so I resort to counting the faint ticking of the clock to help me drift away to dreamland. 12, 13, 14... Soon enough, everything starts to fade, and I feel the cold embrace of sleep wash over me. All of a sudden, a blood-curdling scream rattles the walls and pulls me from my slumber. The hell? Was that Moth? The creep from earlier? Oh shit, what the hell? What the actual hell? Panic takes hold of my body, and I find myself frozen in place. The logical part of my brain tells me to reach for my phone, to check the cameras and look for any signs of danger, but I can't seem to move. My body runs cold as I sit in my bed, and no matter how many times I try to reassure myself that the footsteps outside are just Moth, I can't seem to convince my brain otherwise. Oh shit. The faint glow of the hallway light seeps in from underneath my door, but it soon fades away the moment a shadowy figure appears. I somehow find the strength to turn away, yet when I brace myself for the worst to happen, nothing comes. Instead, there's just an eerie silence and a sense of dread hanging in the air. I know I should probably scream, yell, throw something, anything that will make enough noise to alert my neighbors, yet I can't seem to get any of my limbs to move, no matter how hard I try. My body betrays me as it stays rooted in place, and all I can do is lay as still as a statue and hope that this is all some screwed up nightmare. What I would give to just wake up and see my friends again, to see Eleanor again, and even Ren, if he were here right now. Shit! If only I'd asked him to stay! Why? Why did I turn him away? All because of some stupid text message? Even more palpable silence passes, and just when I begin to think that this was all in my head. Hi, Tio! From the corner of my eye, I swear, I could see some kind of ghastly apparition begin to form by the foot of my bed. Tendrils of smoke seem to rise from the floor and wrap around my form before it envelopes me in a dark haze and renders me unable to move or make a sound. All I can hear is a loud thumps of my heartbeat before, in the blink of an eye, the otherworldly mass manifests closer to me, and it's then that I notice the eerie sound spilling out from the darkness. It's a macabre amalgamation of bones cracking, flesh bending in ways it shouldn't, unnerving crying, and the muffled pleas and shouts for help. What? I don't know what that says. Upon hearing that, a bloodied, severed hand emerges from within the dark abyss and hovers above my face, and I let out a pitiful sob the moment a drop of blood lands on my cheek. The hand reaches for the blanket below my chin in an attempt to peel it back, and I muster all my strength to keep it cocooned around me. It was my last line of defense, and I wasn't about to have my final source of safety ripped away from me. Not wanting to look and see how the spectral form would respond, I squeezed my eyes shut and tried to bury my face in the pillow. But the eerie sound of water running and reeds rattling in the wind draw my attention, and I crack open an eye to see nothing. Before I can make sense of what I just witnessed, the world around me starts to go blurry. But even as I lose consciousness, I don't miss the faint shape of something large disappearing from the corner of my eye, along with the lingering smell of old paper, something muddy, and the foul stench of blood. The hell? Is this a Caesar cipher? Run? I feel like this is a Caesar cipher, but I'm not sure how to translate this. Okay. Right. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Right. Gotcha. You did not come here for the tales of old, did you? You are here, seeking him. Who him? He him? They him? Who him? Me him? You him? Who him? Very well. I shall return him onto you once more. So, such leniency will not be seen henceforth. Do not come here again. You do not belong here. Not until you remember that of which you have forgotten. Wait, hang on, there's lore? Now you're telling me there's lore? I've been waiting for this for 5 days! Anyway, that was 14 Days Review. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys do want to play this for yourselves, link to the game will be in the description below. And that was surprising. Like, I genuinely just wanted to, like, show you one of the bad ends, but I did not expect all that to happen. And now, I'm a little curious. Do you guys want me to cover the decay route where I'm just, like, absolutely mean to everyone? Because apparently we do get a chance to get an alternate CG for that. But like, yeah, do let me know in the comments below. And like, if this video does hit like 10k views at the very minimum, I will like see if I can like cover the decay route. But in the meantime, hey, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all have a lovely rest of the day. And as always, I'll be seeing you in the next video. This is Lion signing off. Ciao.